Well, hello and good morning. I know probably none of you. Well, hopefully you're getting prepared for your lead generation. I know that I saw a lot of your calendars this week, and you were looking at jumping and doing some contacting or jam times or lead generation, 90 minutes, whatever you want to call it, around 8:30, 9 o'clock. So it's 8:41. So chances are you're not going to see this live, but that's okay because there's going to be a recording in the Facebook private page that you can go back and watch this. So the idea for today's video was to touch a little bit on the tips and techniques for contacting. I think the more that you prepare for your 90-minute sessions, and obviously in the beginning, it's going to be a little awkward because let's face it, you probably haven't consistently made phone calls ever, most of you. And what I mean by consistently is that you do it every day that you show up to work. So Monday through Friday, whether it's from 9 until 10:30, that you're going to jump on and you're going to make calls. And the calls can be I mean, again, all you're doing is contacting, but at the same time, you're going to have a purpose for each person that you call. If you call your sphere, the idea is to connect. It's to ask. If you haven't asked that magic question yet, it's to close on them, and it's to confirm. That's the referral lead generator. If you're cold calling, that's a whole different dialogue, and we'll dive down that a little bit later. But the idea would be is to make sure that you're connecting with your database. Even if there's only 30 or 40 people in it, that's the first connection. Because like I said in previous videos, is that you've got to make sure that you're asking them that question. So let's just dive in. Again, we covered this in session one, but I thought it was so important that we should cover it on a single video. So let me bring up the slides here real quick. So again, it's the tips and techniques for contacting. And there's 6 of them. And actually there's probably even more than that, but these are the ones that I wanted to focus on. One is call early. A lot of people will ask me the question whether or not, when should I call? Should I call in the afternoon? Should I call later in the day? It's up to you on when you want to call. But if you don't have the practice of contacting your database or lead generation in general, that becomes a scary thing. And it's not scary in the beginning, but it is scary when you sit down and actually start making the phone calls, because it's like, oh my God, I am going to actually call people and ask them for help. Yes, you're going to ask them for help. But at the same time, you have to believe that you are the best person to be able to help their friends and family and the people that they care about. If you don't believe that, then chances are that's where you're struggling. So, well, I used to always say the saying, and I don't know where I heard this, but fake it till you make it, right? Just get on, make phone calls, whatever the case may be. So the number one is to call early, right? Why early? It's just to get it out of the way. And the thing is that people will judge a 90-minute session. Well, here's the thing. If you really looked at this at it in a year's time, if you called for 90 minutes, 5 days a week, and if you only did that 40 days a week, that's 5 times 40, that's 200 days. That's going to be something like, I don't know, 180,000 minutes or something like that. I mean, that's a lot of time that you're going to be putting in there. And not every jam session is going to be unsuccessful. And what I mean by that means that you're probably going to generate some business from it. And the thing is that a lot of times during that 90-minute session, you may not be successful at the time you're making the phone calls. It may be that you left a voicemail, as in number 5, is you always leave a voicemail. So somebody could call you later that afternoon, or sometimes because you left them a voicemail. Some people, you could have the great conversation with them and you connected with them and you confirmed, but they didn't know anybody at the time. But a week later, 2 days later, they call you back. So don't judge each 90 minutes based off of whether or not you got a lead or not. Just base it off of that you did what you said you were going to do, sometimes more, just never less. And you took a consistent step on building your business. That's the key thing. Taking those consistent steps every day, whether it's 90-minute jam sessions, whether it's open houses, whether it's door knocking, whether it's sending out mailers to a farm area, it's consistency over time that's going to win the race. So number one, call early just to get it out of the way. If any, just that's really the point of that. Okay. And also too, when you call early, you're catching people, not catching people, but at the same time, you're usually not going on listing appointments at 9 a.m. in the morning. Okay. Kids are usually in school by 9 a.m. in the morning. So it's usually one of those times during the day that you're not doing anything else. Call with someone. Again, this is very powerful because it's accountability, right? So if you found somebody else that you said, hey, I'm going to call at 9 a.m. I'm going to do it Monday through Friday. I'd love with you to do it with me. You get on the phone at 8:15, call each other, do a little role playing of the referral lead generator or whatever dialogue you're going to use. And then after your 90 minutes, you call each other and you kind of report your stats, the successes that you had, maybe the non-successes that you had, whatever it is, but it creates a little bit more, it creates fun within that. And then number three, don't pause between. What that basically means is that when you get on the phone for 90 minutes, that's all you're doing. You're either dialing, you're leaving a voicemail, or you're actually on the phone having a contact with somebody, and you're doing that for 90 minutes straight. And then number four is kind of a gutsy one, and that's until you get one. So this is for my real estate agents that are new, that aren't doing anything right now in regards to production. Is you jump on the phone at 9 a.m., you have a list of people that you know, you have a list of a farm area that you want to work, you have a list of maybe a just listed that just went on the market, and you have 40 addresses and phone numbers and that type of stuff. But you're going to be on the phone until you actually get somebody to invite you over. So until you get one. Now that's, you just never know. Back in the days when I took the Sweat Hog program, we had 3 days of pain, and we didn't call people that we knew. We actually just cold called, and we jumped on the phone, got the Kohl's directory, picked a street, started calling from the bottom. Why the bottom? Because typically nobody ever made it to the bottom of that street. They typically always started at the top. And so you're starting to call, and the dialogue that we used was, and this is great for cold calls. Hi, this is Gary with XYZ Real Estate. I was just calling to see if you guys had thought about selling your house. No. Well, have you thought about moving ever? Right? Ever. Yes, somebody's thought about moving. And here's the beauty of cold calling is that it's a crapshoot. You don't know. So you're not attached to whether or not somebody on the other end of the line is moving or not moving. You're just building that strength of making phone calls, using the dialogue, getting engaged in conversations with people. Yes, are you going to have some negative conversations? Absolutely you are. But are you going to have some positive ones? Yes. And you don't need that many positive ones to make a successful career out of this. And then the next one is leave a message, right? What message should you leave? Hi, this is Gary with XYZ Real Estate. I was just calling. I got a quick real estate matter I'd love to discuss with you. When it's convenient to you, you know what? Shoot me a text message or give me a call back on when it's convenient to have a conversation. Thanks a lot, and make it a great day. That's the voicemail I would leave. You can leave whatever voicemail you want, but that's just a standard default voicemail that we've always left. And then number 6 is very important. Each call is eventually a payday. It is, because the person that you're calling, if you have a great conversation with them, meaning that you connected with them, doesn't mean that the conversation again is not great because you got a lead. That's a bonus, right? The conversation is because this is a relational business, and because you're going to be in this long term, and because we're not just looking short term of whether or not they're thinking about buying or selling, but who they know who's thinking about buying or selling. eventually it's going to be a payday. And for some people that are in your database, it's going to be multiple paydays. So again, if you have any questions on this, please feel free to give me a call. You can reach me at 402-680-7000. Again, it was great jumping on here. I'm actually going to jump on and do a couple more videos today. So when you get time, watch this video and we'll talk to you soon.